In the 2022 version of ASCE 7, a method was introduced for calculating the tornado loads on a structure. If you have the ultimate version of MecaWind, then it has the capability of checking to see if tornado loads need to be considered, and then if they are required, then it will calculate those tornado loads. There is another video that discusses in more detail the criteria to determine when tornado loads are to be checked, and so please refer to that video for more detail on that topic. We will now consider the case where a building does need to consider tornado loads. First, we must make sure that we are running ASCE 7-22 or later, since that is when tornado loads were introduced. We click the Standard button and we select the 2022 option. Next, we click Structure Type and we select Building. Click the Tornado checkbox indicating that we do wish to consider tornado loads. Now we must specify the tornado wind speed, which can be found for United States locations by visiting the ASCE Hazard Map. That map is reached by clicking the Visit Website button. For this example, we will use a tornado wind speed of 95 miles per hour. Next, click the MWFRS button, and the only valid method is Chapter 27, and so we will select that method. Now click the Components and Cladding button, and we see the only valid option is Chapter 30, Part 1, and so we will select that option. Now we click the Building tab, and we will enter the building criteria. We have addressed this window in more detail in a previous video, and so we won't go over those details in this video. Now we click the C&C tab. Our Components and Cladding table is empty, so we click the Populate button. We accept the default value, save, and then elect to overwrite the existing data. Now we see a table populated with one entry for every component and cladding zone. Now let's perform an analysis by clicking the Perform Analysis button in the lower right. If we go to the Tornado Check category, then we can determine if tornado loads are required to be checked. If tornado loads were not required to be checked, then this would be the end of the tornado calculations performed. However, in our example, tornado loads are required to be checked. The tornado calculations follow ASCE 7, Chapter 32. The output looks similar to that provided for normal wind loads. However, there are differences in the specific values and formulas used for the tornado load calculations. You would then consider both the design wind loads and also the tornado loads when designing of your building. We have worked an example for a building, but there are tornado provisions for other types of structures as well. Tornado provisions are provided for buildings, open buildings, rooftop structures and equipment, canopies, bins, silos, and tanks.